Well, yes, indeed, there's the big announcement and decision by the CBN. Well, to shed some light on that, Bayo Rotimi joins us today. He's a business market analyst. Thank you for coming on again today.
Thank you.
Well, eventually, a lot of people looked forward to it, but I know many on the street went about their businesses. Break this down. What does this mean?
Well, what it means is that the government, the Central Bank of Nigeria, have, after 1 year of persistent calls for the devaluation of the Naira, they have finally succumbed. The last time I had the privilege to be here, I said that devaluation had happened, but that government was yet to acknowledge it. What has been done now is an official acknowledgement. But beyond the acknowledgement, certain building blocks have been put in place. So the expectation is that from Monday, an organized market will be unveiled, where market forces will essentially determine the price at which the Naira exchanges for convertible currencies. It's something that was long overdue. Delay has cost the Nigerian economy a lot. Our foreign reserves have declined by about $5 billion, which is the equivalent of 1 trillion Naira. So this is a decision that was delayed in coming, but eventually it is here. So we need to then move on from here.
But what do you say to those who say, well, this is not exactly devaluation? They say, well, the CBN floated the Naira. We didn't peg it at any price whatsoever, exchange rate whatsoever. And so by the end of Monday, we should have an idea of what is going to close to determine whether or not it can be called devaluation.
Well, the reality is this. As long as the CBN says they will allow market forces to determine the price at which the Naira will exchange for foreign currencies, I think it is a significant movement from where we were. Initially, the CBN insisted on 199 when everybody knew that the average entrepreneur, the average manufacturer could not access FX at that official rate. On May the 24th, when they had an MPC meeting, they came out saying, well, we will move towards a flexible market, but at the same time, we will allow a critical window for certain categories of individuals or businesses to access money. Now, my immediate impression was that they were going to create yet another window where people could abuse the system. But fortunately, fortunately for us, when the policy was finally unveiled, there was no mention of reserving FX to certain people through a critical window. So for me, that is also a significant movement. What it means is that definitely going forward from Monday, it will largely be a market-determined market, even though the CBN will remain a significant player and will intervene from time to time.
You know, we've always had this dual market exchange regime. You have the banks.
Correct.
You have the parallel market, which the Nigerian out there, some will call the black market.
Yeah.
With this new regime, what happens to that other market?
Well, the black market will always remain as long as the official market cannot meet all of the needs, all of the demand for foreign exchange. Now, the reality is this. Our earnings potential as a country has reduced, right? Crude oil prices fell. Even our oil production has fallen. So what it means now is that Nigeria as an entity is earning less US dollars or foreign exchange as we typically should have. Now, with this new policy, a lot of people who have held on to their funds because the exchange rate was not favorable, the expectation now is that a lot of those people will bring in their money. So investors, foreign direct investments, we should see an upswing. Nigerians in the diaspora who remit significant amounts of funds into this economy, they will be more encouraged to do that. Nigerians who want to export but previously have said, I am not going to struggle export and then be forced to change my exchange into naira at an artificial rate that the government has imposed. Now, what will happen now is the aggregate supply of foreign exchange will increase. When that happens, the naira to the dollar exchange rate, the naira will strengthen against the dollar. Now, will it totally eliminate the black market? I seriously doubt it. But I expect that in the short term, you may see prices go up, i.e. the naira lose value. But in the long term, as the supply of foreign exchange increases into our economy, the naira should start to firm up. And the gap between the official market, the new interbank market, and the parallel market hopefully will start to narrow.
When you say short term, give us an idea. How long is this?
That's a tricky question, Chamberlain. Short term in Nigeria could be anywhere from, I would say, a year to 2 years. Because a lot of people will still sit on the sidelines and say, let me see how this market will actually function. You know, yes, the government, the CBN has come up with a framework. They will now say, well, a framework is one thing, implementation is another. There is still a significant problem in that there is not enough foreign exchange coming into Nigeria. And as long as that problem remains, you will still have a problem of a lot of naira trying to buy a limited amount of convertible currency.
You know, because when we say short term in this country, the same thing they argue when you devalue or when you liberalize, or when they argue for deregulation. They tell you, know, in the short term, but in the long run you have. And so many just look and wonder what exactly and when. But how much, at what rate do you think, if they then bring in the funds, the forex that they held back, at what rate do you see them exchanging for?
Well, it's a difficult question to answer, which is why I was slightly surprised when the news reports this morning mentioned that the CBN had some expectation around the 250 naira to the dollar mark. I think nobody can say today with any degree of certainty. Number one, you do not control the supply of foreign exchange. Number two, you have asked market forces to determine the rate at which they will buy the dollar. You know, so for somebody, albeit the CBN, to forecast a 250, I think it is rather premature. I think
are they trying to calm frayed nerves and say, guys, start from 250 or something?
Maybe. But remember when the Honorable Minister for State for Petroleum, when he was talking about the increase in price to 145, he mentioned something about importers accessing US dollars at 285. You know, so what I would advise government to do is stop making these pronouncements, stop speculating, allow the market forces to actually kick in, and let's see where the market goes. Experience has shown from this market and from other markets that as long as you allow free competition, yes, in this same short term, in quotes, the prices may go up,